Hello everyone, Thatlowdsg here, back with another Mustang video of course, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video will go over how to remove your factory cluster, and if you were to swap it like I did, this process will work for pretty much any other gauge cluster that has the same connections, like the Roush one, the Cobra one, Bullitt Mach 1. I am installing the 2001 Bullitt one. I'm so excited to have this one in the car. It looks amazing in the car, and it's definitely an improvement from the GT one, but let's just get straight into the install. So we're gonna go ahead and start the car and turn the lights on, and then we're gonna let the RPMs drop down, let the car warm up. Now with the car at about idle, we're gonna go ahead and shut her down, and you can see that my temperature gauge is not working, but when I put it in accessories, it will actually work. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm gonna check the thermostat, but yeah, we are ready to go on with the install. First step, disconnect the negative battery terminal. I already had mine loose. So now we need to remove this headlight bezel, which you can see has like a little metal tab. This is where we're gonna put our flathead behind and pry it out of there. Now it does seem a little bit tricky, but it actually will come out. You can actually see the metal tab. All you want to do is press down, pushing in towards the car, and then as you're doing that, pull the bezel out. There's going to be two torque screws up here. There's going to be one right here, and the other one right up here. And these are a T20 torque. And there's the other one. So from the bottom here, we're gonna lift this piece up and over around here. That'll lose it on that side. On the left-hand side, we're gonna do the same process, up and around where the headlight bezel was. We might need to, you might need to lower your steering wheel a little bit down so you can get inside of here. Okay, so there's gonna be an additional 4 torque screws holding this end. In the corner here, there's gonna be the piece right here. And then right below here, there's another one. Going towards where the headlight bezel was, there's gonna be one in this corner right here, and then the other one right up here. And I went ahead and got an extension for this just to make it a little bit easier. Doesn't have to be super long, but just long enough. And these are the same T20 torque screws, and these things come out with an ease. I think the hardest part is just going to be getting the bolts to come out and over around the actual cluster itself without dropping them. Alright, that one came out just like that. And that's it. Cluster should be completely free from the actual frame of the car itself. And once we've got it kind of somewhat out, rest it up against here. There's a wiring harness for 2 connections on the right hand side, and then there's one on the other side as well. You can see the wire connections going into the same harness down that way. Looks like at the top here on this side, this is the one by the voltage and the oil pressure. Looks like we just press the pin down and that will come straight out. And then this is the side towards the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge. There's one more connection, and then at the top of the pin, you'll just press it in, pull straight back. And just like that, the old gauge cluster is out. As you can see, these are wired into the same diagram, so you will not be able to lose which one, and it's very obvious of which one goes to which. And this doesn't look scary to me because I've ripped out this entire dash. If you guys haven't seen the dash removal vid, make sure you guys click the link in the corner. That is an awesome video, super helpful, super informative, so go check it out. Now that we have this one out, let's get the next process going. So for this next part, we've got the 2 gauge clusters side by side. We've got the 2001 Bullitt, and then we've got our 2004 GT one. You're going to want to find somewhere that's not staticky or anything like that, because we are going to be taking the boards off the back and swapping them. In the end of the video, I will go over why we're doing this process. Let's just get straight into this though. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it on the back side, gauges down, and then on the back, you can see these golden torque screws. There's one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here, one here, and then one at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and remove all of these. So we're going to start with the bottom ones. These are T15 torque screws. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flip this back around like this. This white cover should just come straight off. And as you can see, the circuit board is now exposed. I don't know how easy it is to pick up on here, but if you can see right here, we're only gonna be touching the corners of the circuit. You can actually see the difference of the color and the green between where you can touch and where it is not safe to touch. So you can see like right here, lighter green is okay. That's where we're actually going to disconnect it from. This next step is probably the most scary part on the job, and that is disconnecting the speedo connector. Wiggling the speedo connector back and forth allows you to go ahead and disconnect it. We're going to go along the corners here. These white studs is what it needs to go over and around, so just make sure as you're going around that you're not going to be damaging anything along the way. Now I'm going to set this on a paper towel. Now we're going to do the same process as before. We're going to remove the Torx screws on the back, take the white cover off, and take the circuit board off. This is our GT one. It is very, very important that we do not mix these up. So this one is our GT one, and then I put the Bullitt one over there. So I've got the Bullitt cluster now. So we're going to take our GT circuit board, slide the speedo through. Alright, and once we got the speedo connector up and over, I'm going to go ahead and rest it on. I'm not going to press it down just yet, so that way we can make sure that all other pins and connections are aligned first. So I got the top up here, and that's set down pretty nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and press the speedo in. And you do not have to be super hard with it. So now with everything aligned, we're going to go ahead and put the white cover back on, so that way we can put the bolts back in. Perfect. This is where you want to take your GT cluster and put in the Mach 1 or whatever gauge you have the circuit board from that one in, just so that way this doesn't get damaged or whatnot. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and plug the connections back in. There's one, and I heard that snap, so we're good. And there's two. Now the connections are both in. We're going to go ahead and slide this puppy back in here. And I'm just going to put two of the corner bolts in. One in right here. Good. Then I'm going to put the one in the corner. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and test it out. I hope this works. I'm super excited because I love the style of this gauge. But enough talking, let's get back to business. Okay, so I also am going to be doing a 500 subscriber special. Since my last video, I surpassed 500. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. But this is a little trick that I'm going to show you guys, alright? So you're going to hold down this trip button, right? And then you're going to turn the key all the way to accessories. But not start it. You're going to hold till it says test, and then you're going to let go, and you'll see the gauges do their thing, and then after that, and then after we press this button, this will give us a bunch of different readings, so we can see if all the bulbs are working. I believe that may be a code for the check engine light, I don't know. That is actually a speedometer. So if I were to, you can see it actually go forward and move. So that's cool. So you could actually have a digital speedometer if you ever wanted it. And then that is the RPM and what the car is running at. So if we were to rev it up, which this is what it was at idle, so everything is looking good. The test is great. This is awesome. You can just pull this straight out, and there's the lights, which it might not be as bright because the daytime, but it's test is awesome. It's dropping. Oil pressure, and then just a battery voltage, whatnot. I really want to learn all of these features on this car. This is a hidden feature on this car, so if you did not know this, you could do this yourself. It's really cool, really awesome to see all this stuff that's on the car and going through. And that will reset it. Go back to gauge. It'll flutter again. So now that we've tested everything, we're gonna go ahead and put the bezel back in and everything on the surrounding. When I had this held in, I put the bolt up here and the one down here. So there's only this connection up here and this connection down here in the corner that we need to get to. All right. Got this secured in there. Now we just need to go ahead and install this bezel piece back in. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory of how this will go back in. Okay, then we can go ahead and take the headlight bezel, which we're just gonna line it how it was earlier. And the install is complete. During the nighttime, I'm going to turn the lights on and see how they look. So after running the test on the car, and I was able to find the check engine code online, and this is also going to fix why my temperature gauge sensor is not working. I came across here, and I already have this connection unplugged, but as you can see, this should not be like this. This should be all the way down, and you can see I can pull it all the way up and out. So yeah, that was the temperature sensor. Good news is that the harness itself is intact and all good. So all I have to do is replace this sensor. Since I don't have an OBD reader, the test actually showed the check engine light code. I looked it up online and I was able to diagnose it myself at home. So it's not just good for, you know, a digital speedometer or reading the tachometer, making sure all that stuff is good. You can actually read codes and other information on this car. So that is very helpful. So hopefully that will help other people as well, and it helped me. So I am very excited I did that. Yeah, it looks awesome. Now, you might be wondering why we swapped the circuit boards over from your stock GT cluster or whatever cluster you start out with. That holds your car's information, like your security information, your PATS information, your mileage. So doing so will help you retain the mileage and prevent you from having to get your keys reprogrammed at the dealer, which isn't fun, and it probably isn't cheap. That will save you the expense of doing so and a lot of the hassle. And if you guys have made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you, and thank you seriously to everyone who subscribed recently. I can't believe that we just passed 500, so thank you. If you aren't currently subscribed, consider subscribing, because there will be some future content along the way for the Mustang. I mean, I've got trunk fulls of parts, so I have a lot more content on the way. If you guys found this video to be helpful in any way, feel free to leave a like on the video, and if it didn't, leave a dislike and meet me down in the comment section and tell me, you know, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you just need help with something. I'm always eager to answer questions or help out with other people's builds or just projects that they have going on. But yeah, that is all. Peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.